So we'll look at the two Eyepoint tabs now. So we're on Eyepoint Setup. So the first thing we've got here is a little controller for moving the Eyepoint. You can also move your Eyepoint using your standard key shortcuts. If you move over any of these little green tabs, it'll start moving the Eyepoint around. Now the other way I've set up that you can move the Eyepoint in the same manner where you hold down space and move your mouse to pan. If you turn this mouse user interface on, then if you hold down Control and move your mouse, you can drag the Eyepoint around in the same manner. So that's left, right, up, down with the mouse, and the mouse wheel does forward and backward. When you let Control go, it's back to normal mouse movements. If the tick box mouse move auto timer is ticked, then after I think it's 5 minutes, then it'll turn that Control mouse off. If it's not ticked, then it'll stay on for as long as you've got that activated. So there's a couple of things I still need to tell you about the mouse user interface. If I hold down Control and start dragging my aircraft across to the left to move the Eyepoint, if I let go Control at this point, I can then move the mouse back to this side, and I can just carry on doing a series of drags for more position movement. I can also change the movement rate using this slider, so I can make the aircraft move a greater distance for the same mouse movement. So you've got quite a lot of control over where you put your Eyepoint using this. So it's a nice feature to have in the same manner. You can hold down space to do your panning, being able to hold down Control to do your Eyepoint movements. It sort of seems to be something that should really be native in the Prepar3D itself. So if we move the Eyepoint to somewhere different, now let's move into a close-up of the panel. The speed at which that's moving is governed by this slider here, so we can make it move very fast. That's way too fast, or we can put it back to more realistic speeds. Now let's say I'm too far off where I want to be. I want to reset, so I'll go reset Eyepoint and start again. It's just a good demonstration of what that does. Slow that down and then do this under a bit more control. Okay, so let's say I'm happy with this as a close-up of the panel. I can then copy it for edit, and it'll query the XYZ pitch bank heading positions of that camera view. Now a special case is, because this is close-up of the panel, I can go copy as panel, and what it's done is actually filled in a couple of more bits of information. When we save that, if I saved it by adding to file, then it's going to give it a name called XYZ panel. That's a special name for this program. It means anytime I tell it to go to a panel view, it's going to pull up those coordinates. The source camera, that's the camera which the offsets, the XYZ offsets, are based on. Now if I clicked add file, I'm not going to do that because I've already got this one set up, but so in this tab, the Eyepoint list is a list of all the cameras. So there's 3 options up in the left hand corner here. There's show the Eyepoints for the current aircraft and camera, so it's showing an XYZ panel. I can show everything for this aircraft, so I've also got some exterior views, and I can look at everything, so I've got a whole lot of other aircraft views there as well. So let's say I'm going to pick this predefined XYZ panel and copy it to Prepar3D. So that's the saved version that I already had. If I want to look at some of these other ones, like here's some of these saved external views. So in this section here, I'm saying set the source camera so it's automatically going to go to the correct camera because it's an outside camera, it's not a virtual cockpit camera. Copy that to P3D. So there's that camera. Now all of these custom cameras show up once you've defined them in your list here, custom 2D views. So if I want to jump onto that XYZ panel that we were just looking at setting up, there we go, like that, or back to one of these other ones, this one, or so basically it's doing camera things the same as what EasyDock might do, but it's all integrated with the rest of the features of this program, including the 3-dimension, the shake and vibration, various other things. So back into here you can edit any of these numbers directly, so we'll just set this one again. Now let's say I want to go further back, I'll go back 16 meters. So if I copy that again, I should end up a bit further back, like that. If I wanted to save that modification, I'd make sure that row's highlighted and save the selected row edit. If I want to reset the Eyepoint, there's a button for it there. Just be aware that external cameras have a 0 position right in the middle of the aircraft model. So if we're wanting to set up an external view, some of the cameras, the custom cameras we added in here are for doing that. So if we go to, we'll go to Views, we'll go to the XYZ reference exterior. Okay, so we're already on that one. That's the basis for all of these external views. We're going to reset the Eyepoint back to 0, 0, 0. So I'll see it's 0 there. We'll move the camera outside of the aircraft. We'll spin it around a little bit, change our pitch, change our heading. So you can use pitch bank heading as well as the XYZ offsets. Move it down a bit. Okay, so let's say that's going to be a new view. We're going to copy it for edit. We're going to give it a name. We then decide whether it's specific to this aircraft or it's one that is available to all aircraft. So in this case, let's say it's a global one available to everything. And we're then going to add it to the file. So if we go back to the list, we should see that on this page. So we've got that there. And we should also see it. Let's just go to something different. And that one should be in here, and we can jump immediately back to that like that. The copy to new flyby row, we'll cover that when we look at the flyby views. It's basically taking those XYZ and giving them to another part of the program that needs it. So we'll just open up another view here, and we want to set that to one of our custom views. We need to make sure that's active by clicking on it, and then we'll select the active view option there rather than the main view. Because that's actually an exterior view, I've got to select the correct camera for that if I want to use the panel, so I've just got to flick that onto virtual cockpit before we can do this. So we'll just change view to virtual cockpit for that one, and then we'll set it to XYZ panel. There we go there.